Hey, Anna.
Hi.
What? Hi. That seems serious. What's going on?
Like you don't know?
What? No, I don't know. What's wrong?
Are you seriously going to ask me what's wrong after what you did?
What did I do?
When you came and you knocked my coffee cup out of my hand and you said that my breath smelled like gorgonzola and you made fun of my shoes?
I never did any such thing. What are you talking about?
Yes, you did, Drew. You came up and you knocked my coffee out and I was really tired and I really wanted that coffee and then you made fun of how I looked and then you got on your spaceship and you flew away to the giraffe planet.
Whoa. Do you hear yourself?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, that may have been in a dream.
Yeah. Your breath smells fine.
Oh, thanks. Oh, my goodness.
Much more like Swiss cheese than gorgonzola anyway.
Okay, hey, hold on.
Did you have a dream?
I did. I must have dreamed that. It was a really, clear dream. I am so sorry. I've been mad at you for, 3 days.
That is not fair.
I'm sorry. Do you forgive me?
I forgive you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was just a really weird dream. And we should probably unpack that dream later. But right now, let's talk about a dreamer in the Bible. Do you want to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, do you know which dreamer we're talking about?
My guy, his name is Joseph.
Yeah, so let's get in the van and talk about it. Let's go.
Let's go.
From the stories of Noah's Ark and Anna on the lawn, through the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John. Whether you're new to this or an avid Sunday schooler, we'll learn about the Bible just like church,
but even cooler.
And we take what we learn and we use what we find to go into the world and let the light of God shine.
Buckle up, kids.
Minivangelism. It's time to go Minivangelism. In faith we grow Minivangelism. Let's start the show.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time. How was your Christmas?
It was wonderful.
Yeah?
Well, kind of. It was good. It was good. All the important parts were good. There were plenty of surprises. What about you?
Yeah, I had a great Christmas. I did
Good.
some traveling. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got to see my family.
That's good.
So we are talking about Joseph, but we are not talking about Christmas Joseph, are we?
No, we're not. We have to go way back in time.
Oh, yeah?
All the way back to the book of Genesis.
That's at the beginning of the Bible.
Yeah. That's where we meet Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph 1. We'll call him Joseph 1. How
Joseph
about
the
that?
First. I like that.
Yeah. And Joseph was really well known for being a dreamer.
Yeah.
And his dreams got him into some really great places and some not so really great places.
Mm-hmm.
So you said that you were writing a song about Joseph.
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you tell us a little bit about the song?
Yes. It is a rock and roll song.
What?
Yeah. And it's all about Joseph, but I call him Joe.
I love that.
Yeah. You ready to hear it?
I would love to hear it. Put
All
it
right.
on the radio.
This is the story in song form of Joseph and his brothers. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let me tell you about a guy from a long time ago. His brothers call him Joseph, but his friends call him Joe. He's one of 12 boys, Jacob's 12 sons. But out of them all, he's daddy's favorite one. He gave Joe a coat, the finest around. It made the other brothers want to cut him down. Hey Joe, what do you know? 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 Well, Joseph used to dream when he lay down at night. That's when the Lord was showing such amazing sights, like 12 stalks of corn, the stars in a line, all bowing down before him, and it made him feel fine. But when his brothers heard about it, they were so mad they could spit. They took his coat and beat it up and threw him in the pit. Hey Joe, what do you know? 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 All of Joe's brothers sat down for a bite. Then up came a caravan of Ishmaelites. The brothers sold Joe, made him a slave. There's gotta be a better way for brothers to What do you know, hey Joe? What do you know, hey Joe? What do you know? The story goes to show you how the world can be mean. They'll beat you up and sell you out and stomp on your dreams. But Joe had hope, and you can too. If your dream is from the Lord, then it's gotta come true. So when you're down and out and don't know what to do, you gotta wait upon the Lord to come and pull your body through. Hey Joe, what do you know, hey Joe? 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 What do you know? Hey Joe, what do you know?
That song is so much fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. And thanks to Mr. Evan for playing guitar on it. It was awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Sister Evan. That was so fun. And was that you on the piano?
It was.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. And drums?
Yes.
That's all awesome.
Well, actually, it was computer drums, but I programmed them.
Hey, you know what? You got to take the credit where the credit is, right? I love that song. It just I don't know, it makes me want to dance.
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
is not safe because I'm driving, but still, it makes me want to dance.
Well, and it's kind of funny because it's a dancey song, like a rock and roll song, but the story it's not like a dancey, happy story.
No, it's not great.
No, part of the story of Joseph is he keeps going down and down and down.
Yeah.
And this is the beginning of that story.
Right. So before we go any further, this is a very long story. So if you don't mind, I would actually like to talk about this story over our next 3 car rides. Can we do that?
That's good.
Okay. So this is episode 1 of 3 in the Joseph journey.
Yeah.
We love some alliteration.
I like it.
So in the story of Joseph, it starts off, Joseph is the son of Jacob.
Yes.
And we've already met Jacob on Minivangelism.
The wrestler.
The wrestler, yes. And Jacob has 12 sons and a daughter, but he has 12 sons, and Joseph is number 11 of the 12. And Joseph is Jacob's favorite.
Yes.
Okay, so you have siblings.
Yes.
Who was the favorite?
Pretty much always my little brother, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a running joke with my grandmother that he's the favorite, and she doesn't deny it. Baby Austin is the favorite. What about in your family?
I think it went back and forth between me and my brother. I think I got more attention because I commanded it. And then when I left, Jake got all the attention.
That's nice. It's a little more equal that way.
My mom made the comment after I went to college. She was like, I didn't know your brother talked so much.
Yeah, I got the same. I heard the same about my little brother.
That they didn't know he talked so much until after you left.
We left and he was like, okay, now let's talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, with my great-great-grandmother, my dad is the favorite. And because that's her first grandchild, and she has always, same with your grandmother, she doesn't deny it. She does this game at Christmas where everybody gets a $50 bill, but one person gets a $100 bill, and it's we have to draw these boxes. And my dad has won the last 2 Christmases, and she's like, oh, that's the one I wanted to win.
But it can create problems if people think there's a favorite or there is an actual favorite.
Yes, my dad's sister never likes it. And so let's talk about that. So Joseph is Jacob's favorite. And Jacob tells everybody that Joseph's the favorite by giving him a coat of many colors.
A very special coat.
A very special coat. And the brothers are not happy. No. They're already jealous. But then Joseph decides to up it a little bit by having 2 dreams. And in both of the dreams, he dreams that he was some corn and his brothers were corn, and the corn bowed down to him. And then he also dreamed that he was a star, and all of the other stars and the sun and the moon, they bowed before him. So he goes to them and he's like, I dreamed that I'm the favorite and I'm the best, and you guys are going to worship me. And the brothers loved it, and they gave him a high five, and they said, that's great. You're right. The brothers got real mad.
Yeah.
So mad they plotted to kill him. And so Joseph he goes out to see his brothers because they were all shepherds. And they are like, he's coming. Let's kill him. But his oldest brother, Reuben, was like, hey, maybe we don't. Like, let's just throw him in a big old pit instead. And so they do. They throw him in a pit and they have a picnic next to the pit.
It's messed up, man.
That's so wrong. But then some traders come by, and traders. So some traders come by on their way to Egypt, and the brothers are like, hey, instead of killing him, let's sell him to these traders into slavery. And that's how today's story ends, with Joseph being taken up out of the pit and sold into slavery and like sent to a foreign land. And then the brothers actually, like, they go back to Jacob. They take his coat and they rip it up and they dip it in blood. And then they take it to Jacob and they're like, oh, hey, sorry, Dad, Joseph's dead. Here's his bloody coat. And that's it. Like, that's how it ends.
Yeah. And it ends with Dad Jacob being so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. Because his favorite is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I talked to someone about this story, or I'm going to talk to someone about this story. And the girl I chose, her name is Sophia. And Sophia is 11 years old. And the reason why I chose Sophia is because last year she was in a musical about Joseph.
Oh.
Yeah, she was the narrator.
So she knows the story.
Oh, yeah, in song form.
Yeah.
She knows the story. So I'm going to go talk to Sophia about the story. We're going to get some more like I wonder questions from her. And I think maybe you should look over the story because you haven't been stumped in a hot minute.
I will review the story right now.
Okay. I'm going to go.
All right.
Bye.
See you soon.
Sophia.
Hi, Miss Anna.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. I like your uniform that you have on. Where did you just come from?
I came from a basketball game.
Do you play basketball?
Yes.
That's awesome. What position do you play?
I like to play 3 or 4, so the back position.
Ooh, okay. Did you score any baskets at this last game?
No, I did not.
No, but you were like defense queen?
Yes.
That's awesome. I'm so excited to hear that. So today we are talking about the first third of the Joseph story. And not Joseph like Jesus's dad, but Joseph in the Old Testament, Jacob's son. And the reason why I asked you to come and interview for me today is because you were in a play last year, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
And what was the play about, Sophia?
Joseph.
I know. So would you consider yourself an expert in the story?
Yes.
Yes. So let's kind of recap. So the first third is going to start with, we meet Joseph, we meet all of his brothers, right?
Yes.
And Joseph is well loved by his dad, isn't he?
Yes, for most of the story.
For most of the story. Uh-oh. Ooh, I love the intrigue, some foreshadowing going on here. But okay, so Joseph is, how well loved is he by his dad?
He is well loved enough that his dad gets him a special gift, and he's the only one to get it.
Yeah. Would you say that he's the favorite?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
Yes, I do. 2 of them.
Oh yeah. What, like, where do they like? Do you have older siblings, younger siblings? Like, what do you have?
I have 1 older sibling and 1 younger sibling.
Oh, okay. So you're right smack dab in the middle.
Yep.
Are you the favorite?
I hope so.
Do you think you're your mom's favorite or your dad's favorite?
I'm not sure.
Because you don't want to say because they're listening.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so let's, when you reread the story, or, I mean, even the first time you read it, when you were doing like your play research, what were some I wonders that you had about the story?
One of the I wonders I had was, why did the brothers change their mind? Because in the beginning, when they were going to try to get rid of Joseph, they were first going to kill him. Oh. Then they decided to give him to some traders.
Yeah, they decided to sell him into slavery.
Yes.
So why did they change their mind?
I think they changed their mind because they were going to kill him and get nothing out of it except him being gone. But if they traded him, he would be gone and they would get some money out of it.
Oh. So they just thought, like, yeah, we're not just going to get rid of him. Like,
We'll get something out of it.
Yeah, let's get something out of it. I mean, I guess it's better than killing him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still alive, at least.
Do you think it was just because they wanted to get money out of it? Or do you think it was more like they realized that, like, killing would have been the ultimate bad thing?
I think the second one, and someone would probably have found him eventually.
Gotcha. So they get rid of him without a trace.
Yes.
Oh, that's nefarious, but I love it.
Yeah.
All right, what's your second I wonder?
Another I wonder I had was, why did his dad gift him with a coat? And what's so special about the colors on the coat? Because there were multiple colors instead of just brown.
So what's so special about a multicolored coat?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. What do you think?
Maybe there weren't a lot of items to make colors back then, so having some colored stuff was very rare.
Yeah, so dyed clothes back then, you're right. Like, in order to make clothing dye, you have to use, like, certain kinds of plants, and it was a very long process. It took a long period of time. And so this coat, the more color you had in a coat or in a piece of clothing showed how expensive it was, right?
Yeah.
So, like, nowadays, if
It's a
we
price
wear
tag.
Yeah, or it's the brand, right?
Yeah.
Right? If I have that Gucci belt, you know I paid a lot of money for that belt, right? But or if I've got, like, some Jordans on, right? Like, you can tell based on the little Jordan symbol on there. But back then they didn't have, I mean, I don't know if they had brand names or not, probably not, but you showed your wealth through the kinds of colors that you wore, right? That's why royalty wore like blue and purple, because those were very expensive dyes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so by giving Joseph a coat that's really expensive, what is the dad saying?
He's saying that Joseph is definitely the favorite.
Yeah, and he's kind of rubbing it in the brothers' faces.
Yeah, because he tells them about these two dreams he has where the family, mostly the brothers, bow down to him. Like he's royalty.
Yeah. Did you have any other I wonder questions?
I did. It was actually about the dreams he had. Why was his dad mad at him when he told the brothers about the dreams?
Oh yeah, so you talked about this earlier, is like eventually his dad isn't very happy with him, right?
Yeah.
Like, so he starts off being the favorite, but then his dad kind of gets a little mad. Like, what do you think? Why do you think Jacob got mad at, because it wasn't both dreams, it was like the second dream, right? With the stars. What do you think?
I think it was because it was probably like nowadays, if I got something very expensive and I went to my brother and said, "Ha, I got this and you didn't," and his dad was also bowing down to him, so that means he was basically more important than his dad in the dream.
And that would have been like a huge no-no back then, because like respecting your elders, I mean, it was like a king, like, right? Like you treated the patriarch in your family or the leader of your tribe like royalty. And so to go and have a dream and say, not only am I better than my brothers, I'm better than you, Dad.
Yeah.
That's huge. Do you think Jacob stayed mad at him for long, though?
I don't think so, because he was the favorite.
He was the favorite. You're right. All right. So that's awesome. So what? So when we read stories in Minivangelism, when we talk about stories in Minivangelism, we like to say that every story in the Bible tells us something about God. So what does this story? Because I think what's interesting in this story is that, like, they don't really talk about God.
They don't.
Right? Like, his name does not come up. So what do you think this story tells us? But it's in the Bible. So what does this story tell us about God?
Well, it tells us that God knows what's going to happen, and he can help make it happen.
Gotcha. So God knows what's going to happen. He can help make it happen. So in these dreams, where the brothers and the parents are bowing down to Joseph, right? That's coming.
Yeah.
But does it happen in the story that we're reading today?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It doesn't happen yet. So what else do you think that tells us about God? Right? Because it doesn't end with his brothers bowing to him. It ends with him being sold into slavery.
Yeah. I think that tells us that even if God does know what's happening, that doesn't mean it's going to happen right away.
And you think that maybe like God gives us promises, right? To help us when things get hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What do you think this says about the way that God talks to us?
I think he talks to us through things that happen instead of directly talking to us.
Okay.
Like I'm talking to you right now. He comes in dreams, shows what's happening. He
gives us signs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I do this podcast with my friend Pastor Drew. And Pastor Drew thinks he knows a lot about the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we have not been in the van in a long time, right? We haven't been in the van since before Christmas. So he's rusty. And then the other reason why I chose you to do the interview today is because you are very smart. And we can take advantage of him, right? If a smart kid comes up with smart questions and his brain has not been, working lately, then maybe we can stump him today. You think you can stump him?
Yep.
All right. So let's go. What's our first Stump Pastor Drew question?
My first Stump Pastor Drew question is, out of all the brothers that Joseph has, which ones are his full brothers?
Which ones are his full brothers?
Yes, because
Ooh.
Jacob had many different wives.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So Jacob, so all 12 brothers, a lot of them were half brothers, right? Like Jacob was their father, but Jacob had 4 wives.
Yeah. So a lot of them were not full blood with Joseph.
So which ones were Joseph's full? Like which ones basically had the same mom as Joseph?
And same dad. Yeah.
And same dad. Oh, that's a good question. We'll see if Pastor Drew gets that one. I know the answer. Do you know the answer? Don't say it, but do you know the answer?
No.
You don't know the answer?
No.
I'll give you a hint. It's Benjamin. It was just one.
One?
Yeah. Just one brother. And it was Benjamin. Jacob. So cool. Joseph and Benjamin were the 2 youngest brothers. 11 and 12. So like they had the same mom. Oh. And their mom actually passed away after Benjamin was born. So that was another reason why Jacob kind of loved Joseph more than everybody else.
Because he reminded him of his mom.
Yes, because it reminded him of Rachel.
Why did Joseph get the coat instead of Benjamin, though? Because it was the same brother, same mom, same dad.
So Rachel died while she was giving birth to Benjamin. So I think there was probably something there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that probably may have had something to do with it.
Wait. I have another I wonder. Of every one of his brothers was mad at him. Was Benjamin also mad at him?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Because it doesn't mention Benjamin planning on killing him or selling him. Did Benjamin not know, or was he not mad?
That's a really good question. Yeah, because Benjamin was the baby. Yeah. So, like, would he have been out there? Ooh, Sophia, that's a really good question. That's a really good I wonder.
I don't think he was, because I don't think he would want to kill or sell his own real brother.
Like his full brother?
Yeah.
That's a really interesting I wonder question. That might be like a half stump, a half wonder.
Yeah.
Like what can we call it? A stunder. So, do you have another Stump Pastor Drew question?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what is it?
What were all the colors on Joseph's coat?
Oh, is this from the play?
Yeah, there was a whole song about it.
There is a whole song. It was red and yellow and green and brown and Oh, I don't remember. Do you remember all the colors of the coat?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna have to, before I go talk to Pastor Drew, I'm gonna have to like pull it up on my phone, all the lyrics. But that's a good one. It's not in the Bible, but it is a song, and I think he was in the musical, or his brother was in the musical, so he should know the song.
Yeah.
I think so. That's a really good stumper, Sophia. All right, what's your third question?
So the brothers sold him to traders.
Mm-hmm.
What were the traders? What type of traders were they?
Oh, like what did they trade?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good question. So in the Bible, it says Ishmaelite traders. So they would have been from another region. I'm not really sure, but that's a stumper. Listen, we're just stumping Pastor Drew. Even if it stumps us too, right?
Yeah.
Those are awesome questions. Oh man. Okay. Really good stuff. Thank you so much. All right. So whenever we end our kid interviews, I always like to have a joke. Do you have a joke?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What's your joke?
Well, I couldn't figure out why the ball kept getting bigger. Then it hit me.
Nice job. That is
you.
a solid Sophia joke. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming and talking to me today. All right. Well, hopefully you will be able to get some rest after your basketball game. Yes. And I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'm back. Hi.
Welcome back.
So Sophia, I was so grateful that she met with me. She just finished a basketball game.
Oh my.
Yeah, and she killed it.
Nice.
She plays defense, and so she's a beast on the court.
Yeah.
So, but she had some really awesome I Wonder questions. So are you ready?
I can't wait.
Okay, so her first I Wonder question is, why did the brothers change their mind and not kill Joseph?
I wonder that too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wonder, like, because it is better for Joseph, and I think for the brothers, that they decide not to just outright kill him.
Right.
In some ways, surviving is better than death. So what is it that makes us change our minds? Mm-hmm. In the story, there was one brother who said, hey, let's not do this. And in fact, in the Bible story, it says that Reuben said, let's not do this, because he had a plan to come back and get Joseph and help him. Right. And so it took one person in the crowd to say, hey, everybody that's making plans to do this bad thing, maybe let's not do it. Mm-hmm. And it makes me wonder about Reuben, and what is it about Reuben that gave him the courage to try to stop the whole thing? Yeah. I like Reuben in this part of the story because he tries to save his brother.
Right. Well, he's also the oldest brother. So he is probably he felt like he had to be in charge.
That's possible too. Yeah. I've seen that played out in real families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sophia said that they just wanted to make some money.
Oh. There is one line in there is like, what profit is it if we just kill him? Let's sell him. Yeah. And then we can go buy our own coats, so enterprising brothers. Yeah.
Sophia said that if they killed him, they'd find his body. And then somebody would maybe open an investigation and figure out what happened to him, and they couldn't lie. So by selling him into slavery, he's gone without a trace.
Wow. Sophia has read some good mystery novels.
I know, right?
That's great.
Well, also, so when I was rereading the story, I saw that they were also like, he's our brother. Like, that was like, he's family. We can't kill him.
Yeah, and there's something to that too, because when you're family, you can really not like a family member, but there's something about being a part of the same family that that can often mean there's some things I just can't do to my family members. Yeah.
Do you think also, I think they sold him after they had the picnic? So you think maybe it was just they got a little food in their belly?
They were hangry? Yeah. And they felt better after?
Exactly.
I've seen that played out in real families too.
All the time, every day in my family. So her second I Wonder question was, why did Jacob give him a coat? We know that he's the favorite. So, there are ways that we can show that somebody is our favorite, right? Why do you think Jacob used a coat to do that?
Yeah, that's a good I Wonder. when I think about it, well, one thing to mention is that in the musical and the movie based on this, if you've seen that, it's a coat of many colors, and that's what makes it special. Is it's got a lot of colors. The Bible description is more simple than that, and some folks think that it might be like a family coat.
Oh,
There's a story later in the Bible that Jesus tells about a son who goes away and then comes back, and the father insists that he wear the family coat, like a special cloak and the family ring. So there's something about that it's kind of like it's a piece of clothing that says this one's my favorite. We don't really necessarily have that in our families, but you can imagine like family heirlooms. If there are special possessions that a family has, and one of the children gets to inherit that or gets to receive that, I think it's kind of like that. But the Bible doesn't tell us exactly what's going through Jacob's mind, except that it is a way to show love and some favoritism to Joseph.
yeah. How does your grandma show Austin that he's the favorite?
When she gets him birthday cards, in anybody's card, she underlines certain words like love or I hope you have the happiest birthday. And Austin always gets more underlines than I do.
So underlines are the coat.
We've gotten to counting, more ink spilt for Austin than for Drew, but I'm not bitter about it.
Yeah, you definitely not.
He's not in a pit. Don't worry.
Well, I think too the reason why a coat like the special coat, I think the material also, like back then textiles were expensive, right? And so by spending a lot of money on Joseph, that also just kind of shows like, hey, you're really important. And I talked to Sophia about, nowadays we just wear brand names. And that's how we show that like a piece of clothing is expensive just based on the brand name. But they didn't have that back then. And so, like just the more colors you had or the type of material would show like how expensive it was.
And if you're feeling jealous about someone, if you're feeling jealous of someone, it doesn't take much for you to find something to be jealous about.
Right.
So it's possible, like they all got coats, but they decided his was better because they were already jealous about him. So when I think about myself, when I'm jealous of somebody, I'll find anything to feel jealous about.
Yeah.
Like they have shoes that are blue on today, and gee, I really wish I had blue shoes.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to feed jealousy.
Right. I remember when I was little, there was one Christmas that me, my brother, and my cousin Alex, we all got Power Rangers, like Power Ranger action figures for Christmas from my grandma. And they were all the same Power Ranger. Yet we still all fought over which Power Ranger we were going to have.
Yeah. See, there doesn't even have to be much difference to feel jealous.
And my grandpa just like marked all of them. And then it was like, well, you wrote bigger on his. And yeah, we just needed to fight. So Sophia's third I wonder is, so when Joseph tells the dreams to his brothers, the one dream about the stars, after he tells that dream, Jacob gets really mad at him, which he's the favorite. He's, can't do no wrong. He's got this coat. He's on a pedestal. But then like Jacob is the one that gets onto him, right? And she wanted to know like, why was Jacob mad about the dream? Like Jacob has already said he's better than everybody else. So why is he mad at him for saying that he's better than everybody else?
Because he's annoying everybody at this point. Like, even if you've got a favorite, they can still get on your nerves. And Joseph is bragging. I wonder whether Joseph knows that he's bragging, or whether he's just young and doesn't realize the effect of what he's saying.
Yeah.
There's a version of Joseph in my mind where he's just telling people what he dreamed about. Like he doesn't see it as bragging, but it comes out to everybody else as bragging.
Yeah.
And at some point that gets old. And in any family, I think, there's plenty of love, but on some days there might be one person that's getting on everyone's nerves.
Right.
And that whether he knows he's bragging or not, it's bad enough that Jacob is also annoyed by it, and just kind of done with him.
Right.
But in any family, like, that can happen on any day, and then it gets better. And I think that for Jacob, that would have gotten better. But for the brothers, they decide to do something about it. Like,
Right.
it's too much, and then they start to make some bad choices.
I think also in the first dream with the corn, it's just 11 like stalks of corn, right, that are bowing to him. But in the second dream, not only are the stars bowing to him, but the sun and the moon, which is like the mom and dad. And so I think Jacob was cool being like, yeah, you're better than your brothers. But like, hold on, I'm God's favorite.
Oh, I like that. That's very insightful. Yeah.
Because Jacob also had a relationship with his brother where he was the favorite for his mom. His brother was his dad's favorite. But like, he was the chosen one. He got the blessing. He was supposed to be special. And so for Joseph to then come in and be like, well, actually, I'm more special than you. Like, that was what it took.
Yes. That got Jacob's goat. I like that. That's a good interpretation.
Yeah. Got his goat because he was a shepherd.
Yes. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. You didn't even attend that.
No.
So I asked Sophia, what does this story tell us about God? And I liked what she said. She said that God knows what's going to happen and he'll help make it happen. So we're not getting to the end of the story yet. But when God presented this dream or these dreams to Joseph, he was kind of letting him see into the future a little bit. And like, God knows everything, right? And he'll tell you, right? Like, he'll comfort you. And by him being sold into slavery, as awful as it was, it actually is going to help make that dream a reality.
Right.
Ultimately.
I like that Sophia, she knows the whole story.
Yeah.
And so she sees it kind of getting started here. And that's really good.
She also said, it may not happen right away. Like, if he tells you, right, and he makes it happen, it may not happen on our timeline, but it's going to happen on God's timeline, and he's going to keep his promises.
Right.
And I just thought that was like really cool for a kid to know that God's going to keep his promises.
Yeah.
Especially
Especially cool because so far in the story, God's not really mentioned.
No.
It's a very zoomed in story on one family, and God's not really mentioned, but these are still God's people, and the story of God's own family. And so I love that Sophia is noticing things that have the shape of God, like promises being made in dreams, that are going to come true. But they take some believing in, like you kind of have to believe, Joseph's going to have to believe that this is going to turn out all right. And he still has to go through a bunch of stuff until that promise is kept or comes true.
Yeah.
Nice job, Sophia.
Yeah. There was something else she said was that God can talk to us through other ways beyond speaking directly to us.
I love that. Yeah. That God speaks to us in lots of different ways, including, especially in the Bible, in dreams.
Yeah.
And when God speaks to us, it's often in the form of a promise. And good job, Sophia. Great little theologian.
I know. Yeah. And like, it's one of those things, like if you ask God to reveal something to you, right, and you open yourself up, God's going to send something. You know what I mean? It may be a sign. It may be a dream. It may be a wrestling match. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you think God talks to us in every dream?
I don't think so. But
like some dreams are God dreams and some dreams are not.
I think so. I don't know though. I mean, maybe there is something to that dream I had where you flew away on a spaceship. Maybe you're going to the zoo soon.
But what about the dream that I always have where I'm in a play and I don't know any of my lines and I'm terrified? What does that dream mean? That doesn't feel like a promise.
I think that's between you and God.
I just wake up terrified and then relieved that indeed I am not in a play.
I think it's that you made the right decision in your career choice and that you've just got to trust God. Maybe the next time you have that dream, in your dream, maybe you should stop and trust God.
I'll try. I'll try, and then I'll go on my spaceship to the giraffe planet.
Exactly. Oh man. So yeah, she just had some like really awesome insights, and I loved her I wonder questions. But I think my favorite part of the conversation with her was when she brought some Stump Pastor Drew questions
Dun, dun, dun.
to the table.
All right, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I still remember what it feels like to be stumped, though. I hope it doesn't happen today.
Well, I don't know if maybe
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see if you read the story closely.
Bring it.
Okay. So Jacob had 12 sons.
Mm-hmm.
But those sons did not all have the same mother. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Jacob had many. He had 4 wives, and they had these 12 sons. Of the 12, who was Joseph's full brothers?
Sophia doesn't know the answer to this question.
Yes, she did.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say him and the last one.
What was the last one's name?
Benjamin.
Anywhere?
No.
Correct. Ding,
Yeah! Yes. In your face, Sophia. Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, so it was the last one. And yeah, so Joseph was number 11 and Benjamin was 12.
Yes.
And so, yeah, so they were the 2 youngest, were full brothers. Their mother, they had the same mother, Rachel.
I thought that was going to be the question. I was going to say Rachel.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a roller coaster I just went on.
Can you name all 12 brothers?
No, but the kids who were in the show can.
Yeah.
My favorite is Issachar. Because it sounds like, is that a van? No, it's a car.
Yeah. Okay. So if you can't name all 12, you better learn it before next week. All right. So our next Stump Pastor Drew question.
Yes.
This is not in the Bible. It's from the show.
Okay.
Can you name all the colors in Joseph's coat?
You gotta be kidding me.
Nope. That was her question. You have heard the song plenty of times. Weren't you in the show?
No.
Oh, well, your daughter was.
Well, for listeners, just so you know, there is a show based on this story in which there's lots of colors that are named that are part of Joseph's coat.
Yes.
And I don't know. Red.
And?
Purple.
No. Oh, yes, no, purple's in there. Yeah, red and purple. Here, okay, there are 29.
There's not a chance that I'm naming them. I will gladly take a stump.
It's red and yellow and green and
Brown.
and
Scarlet.
and
Purple. No.
black.
Opal is one of them. It's
Nope.
weird. Yes, it is.
And black and ochre.
Ochre.
Yeah, which
What
is
is
like
that?
It's a yellow color.
Yeah.
Bob Ross would be
I
ashamed.
like fried
of
ochre.
you. Fried ochre is very good. Black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive and violet and fawn.
This sounds like a really ugly coat.
Yeah, right? And lilac and gold
Gold.
and chocolate.
Chocolate's not a color.
And mauve,
It's a
which
food.
I still don't know what color mauve is. Do you know what color mauve is?
No, but it's one of the top baby names lately.
Oh, yeah? I like that name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And cream, which is my daughter's favorite color. And crimson.
Great.
Silver. And rose. And azure.
Azure?
Yeah.
Are you
I'm not.
sure that's a color?
I'm sure it's blue.
Okay.
And lemon and russet.
Russet's a potato. We're just naming foods at this
And
point.
gray and purple and white and pink and orange and blue.
One of the colors should have been corn because we're just doing all the foods.
Salmon.
Yes, exactly.
Champagne. All right.
Now
so
I'm hungry for this
she
coat.
stumped you on that one.
She stumped me,
She stumped
but it's
you.
not fair.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. Congratulations, Sophia.
Okay. I think she's going to stump you on this one too.
All right.
The traders that came and
Traded?
bought Joseph. Okay. What traders, what did they trade? What kind of traders were they?
They were Ishmaelites.
Yes.
He was sold to the Moabites.
Wrong.
Nuh-uh.
Midianites.
Oh, dang. Wrong M word.
Yeah.
It's like spices and balms and resins.
It's resin.
Resin.
It's just 3 types of resin.
I don't know. 3 types of resin. It's like golden frankincense and myrrh, basically.
It's sweet resin, medicinal resin, and fragrant resin.
Yes. But you give me resins.
I'll give you resins.
Okay,
I'll
thank
give
you.
you resins. Okay, where were they coming from?
The road.
I'll give you a hint. There are bombs there.
Gilead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And then how much? This is just bonus. How much was Joseph sold for?
Ooh, 30 pieces of silver.
He's not God.
What is it?
20 pieces of silver.
Oh, off by 10. Oh my gosh, these kids are getting too good at the stumping.
They're so good at it.
I take it as a sign of love
Yes.
that they want me to fail.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, so she also had, we called it a stunder
Okay.
because it's like a stump Pastor Drew, but also an I wonder.
Okay.
She wants to know, since Benjamin was Joseph's full brother, was he a part of the plot to kill Joseph?
We aren't told that he wasn't.
Yeah.
So we can assume that he was, or if he's young enough, he's just going along with what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. Which you don't have to be young to do, but the youngest one in our family generally goes along with whatever bad behavior is happening. Yeah. So, but later in the story, Benjamin comes back up and has a part to play. Mm-hmm. In part because since he's the baby, people care about him. Yeah. And because he's a full brother, Joseph cares about him. Yeah. So, so let's save that stunder and we'll check it out a little later on episode 2 or 3.
Yeah. Another stunder she had was, why wasn't Benjamin the favorite?
Yeah, because normally
typically the baby is the favorite.
I don't know. I think because in this ancient time, often like the firstborn is the favorite, and so the firstborn of his favorite wife is Joseph. And there's something like that's in the story. That's the explanation for why he's the favorite. Is he's the firstborn from Rachel. Mm-hmm. But in different families, it happens for different reasons. Yeah. And we do our best to still be decent to one another, unlike these brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sophia, for sitting down and talking to me.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Sophia.
I was not
for
ready.
Stumping Pastor Drew.
Big win for Sophia.
Yes. I mean, I'm telling you, she knows the story inside and out.
She gets a free high five, but not one for every color. Just one high five. Okay.
Well, you named 3 colors, so she gets 26 high fives then.
No, I'm saying she doesn't. I don't have time for that.
Oh my gosh. So this is the first third of the Joseph story.
Yeah.
And we're kind of ending on a cliffhanger here.
Yeah. The thing I want to invite us to think about while we're reading this Joseph story is, does it remind us of any other stories? One of the things that it may remind us of is other stories about brothers, because we've heard a lot of those. Yeah. In fact, in the Cain and Abel story, we hear a story where one brother does a bad thing to another brother out of jealousy. So in some ways, this is a different version of that same story.
Well, even in the story of their father,
right,
with Jacob and his brother Esau, Jacob does bad thing to his brother.
Right. And
come by it honest.
And in this story, there's a meal right around the time that they're planning to deceive their father and doing something bad to their brother. And in both Jacob's story and in the Adam and Eve story, there's like food that happens that's around time of deception or tricking somebody. Yeah. So it's almost like in this story we hear echoes of the other stories as well. And then the other story that I want to invite us to keep in mind is the story of Jesus. Yeah. Because there's so much of the story of Jesus that looks a lot like this story. Mm-hmm. And part of the I wonder through the Joseph story is what's God trying to say? Like what does this story tell us or show us about God and about us? And especially with those Genesis stories, part of what these stories show us about us is we make bad choices.
Yeah.
Like jealousy is a thing that we have to deal with. And lying is a thing that people do. And part of what we get to see is kind of what does God do about it?
Yeah.
And what does Joseph do about it? In the Jesus story, especially, there's lots of stories of people rejecting Jesus, whether that's out of jealousy or out of fear or whatever. Jesus is kind of like Joseph in that he is this one that's very special, beloved of his father, and the people around him don't like that, and so it's a reminder that when there's suffering happening in one of the Bible stories, we can notice the ways in which that's the story of Jesus, because Jesus is the one who comes to suffer with and for us. And so as we're going through the Joseph story, those are stories that I want to kind of keep in mind, the ways that the Bible kind of talks to itself and says, this is like that, but different.
Yeah.
And I also, I really now, having heard the story and been stumped and all those things, it has made me so hungry for corn. Can we please find our way to an ear of corn? Because between the dream and the colors of the coat and things like that and the picnic, I feel like corn's a decent picnic food.
So how about this instead? How about we go to the popcorn place that's right down the street?
That'll work.
Okay, because they have different flavors of popcorn.
Any flavor that I could dream of?
Yeah, yeah. They have red popcorn and yellow and green and
That's great.
and ochre and peach.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
You're losing me.
And maybe some mauve popcorn.
Let's go find it.
Okay, so this week, if you happen to eat corn or popcorn, or if you see some multicolored coats, because it's winter when we are recording this, so if you see some multicolored coats, think of the story.
Yeah.
Remember this story.
And if you notice yourself feeling jealous of somebody else, you have a choice. If you want to be like all the brothers or a little bit more like Reuben, and ultimately we want you to I think we're invited to remember Joseph.
Yes.
That, he's kind of annoying, but he doesn't deserve to be thrown in a pit or beaten up or sold into slavery.
Yeah.
It's not an okayed way to deal with our frustrated or annoying feelings.
Yeah. Because we can also be annoying sometimes.
Of course.
I know somebody in the band can be really annoying.
Oh, come on.
I'm talking about myself. What do you mean?
Oh, okay. I can agree with that.
Oh, come on. All right. Well, we are here at the Popcorn Place, and we hope that you will join us again for Joseph 2 is our next episode. Where we will continue the journey with him and see where he went after he was sold into slavery. Parents, if you would like to follow us on social media, you can find us at Minivangelism on Instagram. Kids and parents, if you would like to reach out to us with your thoughts, your I wonders, or maybe your own Stump Pastor Drews, you can email us at minivangelism@gmail.com. We actually chose this story because of an email that we got from a friend of ours who we will be talking to soon. So we'll talk more about that in our next episode. We are a ministry of Grace United Methodist Church in Manassas, Virginia. So if you are looking for a church home, you are always welcome here at Grace. And I think that's it. Am I forgetting? It's been so long since we've been in the van.
I think that's it.
Okay, well, the line's getting long in the popcorn place, so will you go inside and go ahead and get our place in line while I park?
There's a big pothole over there. Don't fall in it.
I'll try my best.
I won't push you.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Minivangelism and the Driver's Seat are hosted by Anna Burrell and Drew Colby. Theme song written by David Burrell and produced by Evan Setzer. The theme song was performed by David Burrell, Drew Colby, and Evan Setzer. Podcast, sound design, and editing done by David Burrell. Minivangelism and the Driver's Seat are a ministry of Grace United Methodist Church in Manassas, Virginia. For more information, check out umcgrace.org.
I won't watch that.